Hello, and welcome back to the Misty Morrison podcast. This is episode 16 of Was I in the Wrong? We'll get right on into the stories. Story number 1 is coming to us from r/would I be the a-hole? Would I be the asshole for reporting a doctor for indicating I was cheating? Initial reaction, I need more information than that to find out what actually happened. Little context before I get into it. I, female 27, am with my partner, male 26, for 3 years. We have a great relationship, and from the day we met, we never saw/dated anybody else. I had a more fun past than my partner, but always got checked to be safe. Important context. I got myself checked right before I met my partner and was all clear. Fast forward to October just gone. I had just given birth via emergency C-section to our beautiful baby boy. This was after a failed induction, 3 sweeps, bags burst, 48 hours in labor, and a hormone drip. I was in the depths of PPD. Not only the PPD, but my surgery went wrong, causing nerve damage in my arm and not being able to use it for 8 weeks after surgery. Thankfully, the feeling is back. Myself and our son were in hospital for 6 days after his birth. We went home and we were scared but excited. On the 10th day of his life, I noticed his eyes were puffy and a little gloopy, and decided to call the on-call doctor as it was Sunday late evening. He asked us to come down, which we did. This is where it all went wrong. The doctor asked how old my son was. I replied, 10 days. He said, yes, I already know what it is. Without looking at him, he gave me this really long terminology that sounded like the furniture would move if he said it out loud. He told me to look it up when I'm at home alone. I live with my partner and our son. I looked it up in the doctor's office and nearly died there and then. It basically said conjunctivitis due to chlamydia. When I tell you I looked at him like he had 17 heads, this is actually common as some forms of the clap don't show up in women. I started bawling. I said then, I don't have that as I tested before my partner, and I haven't been with anybody else since. He then looked at me to say, are you sure? If I wasn't crying so hard, only crying so hard because I thought I harmed my son, I genuinely would have slapped him. He looked at my partner with sympathy. I then said, I did not have a vaginal birth, so how could that have happened? This specific condition that is common, bearing in mind, has to be transmitted via vaginal birth. He fobbed off what I said. He basically blamed and shamed me for absolutely nothing. We left there and I got a home test kit from the hospital, and ironically, would you believe, I was clean, as was my partner. Then, when we went to my child's actual pediatrician, he explained that it was impossible as I had given birth via C-section. I wanted to ring back and give that other doctor a piece of my mind, calling him ignorant and inconsiderate to people and new mothers who already have a lot going on. My partner said I would be a bit of an asshole if I rang back to give him a lot of stick when I can just move on, whereas I think he needs to realize he has to listen and not shame people, even if this does happen. Never mind if it doesn't. Would I be the asshole to actually report him to the board for his attitude? There was so much important context in there. No, you would not be the asshole. I think it is super important for you to protect others from the experience that you went through by reporting him. Yeah, because even when confronted with the facts that it couldn't have been transmitted to your son from you because you had a C-section, he still wasn't willing to consider anything else. Like, he judged you the moment you walked in that door, and I hate it when doctors do that. So yes, absolutely. Report him to the board. Yeah, I wouldn't take it any further than that. Like, I feel like the medical boards take those kinds of complaints really seriously. But no, I feel like you would be failing other women and other new moms if you didn't report him. Also, like, speaking up about an experience that you had, especially in the medical field when you were mistreated, as long as you're not, like, belittling someone or cussing someone out, there's no way for you to be the asshole in that situation. He was the asshole to you. You're just making it known. So, OP, you are right, and I hope your husband or partner can very quickly get on your side. Story number 2 is coming to us from r/AIO. Costco employees being rude. Initial reaction? I have none because that was only 4 words. Let's read on. Am I overreacting or overthinking it? I go to my local Costco every few weeks, and to try to beat the crowds, I have my little system I go through to try to make things easier. I get to a store before they open and wait in line / am walking up when the doors are opening and go straight to order a pizza at the monitors in the food court. Then go do my shopping so the pizza is ready by the time I'm done shopping. The wait times for pizza is around 25 to 30 minutes. So I ordered the pizza around 10:05 and went to go pick it up at 10:40. They said it wasn't ready yet, so I went to the side and waited to be called. At 10:55, still nothing. So I went up to ask and they said it's not ready yet. The man was handing out pizzas. The man that's handing out the pizzas is always in a bad mood, and I don't know what's up with people ordering at the food court, but I have seen many times where people are so rude to the employees, him included, so I try to be extra polite when asking for anything. He always has an attitude no matter what. All that to say that I didn't want to go up again and ask if the pizza was ready, only to be told no with no other info. There's another employee next to the food court, so I asked her and she went to ask and they said still not ready, and she came back and I explained that I ordered now an hour ago as it was 11:05 and they were at number 140s and I was number 92. That if I could just cancel my order or get any pizza at all, I had ordered half cheese and half pepperoni, and she said an hour ago? That's not okay. So she went back, and the 2 people at the food court look at me mad, again saying that they had already told me that it wasn't ready yet. And the other employee told them yes, but that it's been more than an hour, and other people were getting their pizzas that had ordered way after me. So she asked them to give me any other pizza, and they both looked at me really mad, but gave it to her. I'm not going to call into the store and complain. It's definitely not something to complain about, but I'm wondering if I'm in the wrong. I'm not looking forward to going again and them thinking I'm a Karen. I've worked in different customer service jobs, grocery store, Starbucks, restaurants, so I know how customers can be. And I'm wondering if I overreacted or should I have spoken up more? OP, in my opinion, I too have worked customer service. I try to be so nice to customer service people because I know their days are hard, just like you said. But when you know that the wait time for a pizza is 25 to 30 minutes, and you know that you were close to the first, if not absolutely the first person to order one, there's no reason and no excuse for them to not have your order ready an hour later and not even be able to tell you anything. And to have a number system and be like roughly 50 orders past you and still just, oh, yours isn't ready yet. No, they weren't working on your pizza. I don't know if they lost it. I don't know if they decided that they didn't like you, but your pizza was not in the works. You were never going to get that half and half pizza. I don't know why, but I think you were 1,000% right to ask that other employee. I would have pushed the people in the food court first, and whenever you asked the second time and they said it's still not ready and said nothing else, I would have said, told them what you told her. I ordered an hour ago at 10:05. Pizzas normally take up to 30 minutes. I'm number 92. You're serving number 140. What happened to my order? And when am I getting my order? Is it in the oven right now? Is it coming out in the next 5 to 10 minutes? And I really hope, because you waited so long, you didn't get exactly what you ordered. I hope they gave you that pizza for free. I do get it. I also would be nervous about ordering from there again, because clearly they didn't want to serve you that day and you went around them and they were mad about it. You could tell they were mad. So if those are the people that are always working on the day that you go, I probably wouldn't get the pizza, just to be on the safe side, because I don't trust people. But no, you were not being a Karen. You stood up for yourself, and not even forcefully. The fact that you waited an hour and finally just asked somebody else hoping someone would listen to you, you were not being Karen. You didn't overreact. you did the bare minimum to get what you needed. I mean, if I were you, I probably would call the store and file a complaint on those employees, because if that other person hadn't been there, I wonder how long you would have waited for a pizza that was never going to come out. So I would call and report them. You're not overreacting, but yeah, I probably wouldn't order from that food court again. Story number 3 is coming to us from r/am I the asshole? AITA, I absolutely hate certain things, yet my friends still try to do it anyway. Initial reaction, there's, again, not enough information in that title. Because, like, whether or not you're the asshole based on what this title is depends on how you reacted to the things that your friends still try to do anyway. So let's get the details. One of the things I hate is hand sanitizer. I know it's weird, I just can't get past it. I tried, it makes me so bothered, and I just want to itch my skin off and rip it off. I recently cut my toe while moving something and cleaned it with soap and water. It was almost fully healed, but today my friend kicked my foot in a way it slid across inside my shoe and slightly opened. I told him to get me a Band-Aid, and he came back acting weird. He showed my other friend he had hand sanitizer behind his hand to disinfect it. I saw, and I refused it. We did this for over 30 minutes, where they tried to trap me, get my foot, etc. The friend who did it wiped hand sanitizer on me 3 times, knowing I don't like it, because I wouldn't let him put it on. In the end, I didn't even get to clean it with soap and water and just put my shoe and such back on. I'm irritated because I hate the smell and feeling of the hand sanitizer on me, even since I was a kid. I always had problems, like I hated socks and underwear and all that. I used to scream, cry, and claw my skin off if it was touching me. I've gotten over those things, but hand sanitizer, I just can't. I don't know, maybe it's a sensory thing. I know it's weird and a stupid situation. I just feel upset and gross because I hate the feeling of it. Is there something wrong with me? They made it sound like it was such a bad thing to not want hand sanitizer on me whatsoever. Is it? Am I overreacting, or am I the ass? OP, you are not the asshole. You are right. I mean, based on the other things you said that you really hated as a kid, this probably is a sensory issue for you. But we're all entitled to our likes and dislikes. Different hand sanitizers also have different like feels. Like there's like the spray alcohol, or like really strong straight alcohol based ones, and then there's more like gel ones. There's one with beads in them. There's scented ones. There's all different kinds. And I know that there are certain ones that will leave like a film on your hands. So I can see where you're coming from with like that you hate the feeling of it, because certain ones do have a particular feeling. And like if you don't like that, that's your prerogative to not like that. It blows my mind that your friends literally for 30 minutes fought with you, trying to trap you and get your foot. Like, this sounds so childish. You didn't give any ages, but this sounds like something like elementary school kids would do to each other. So I don't know that I would be friends with these people anymore after they did this. Like, you don't make it sound like any part of this was really lighthearted. It's not that you said you were refusing to like clean your foot so it wouldn't get infected. You just wanted to use soap and water. And the fact that they were so concerned about this nearly healed thing on your foot, I don't think they were concerned about your foot. I think they knew you hated hand sanitizer, and this was a good opportunity to get you with it. So yeah, I don't think I would hang out with those people anymore, because I wouldn't feel safe in that situation based on the way they acted previously. So yeah, that's this whole thing. I'm still going with right for my vote, but this whole thing was a mess. Like, this whole situation shouldn't have been a situation. Story number 4 is coming to us from r/am I the jerk? Am I the jerk for refusing to give my stepmom the money my dad left me? Initial reaction, no, because if it was left to you in the will, it's yours and you don't owe anyone anything. but let's see if they can change my mind. So here's the deal. I, 26 male, lost my dad last year. It was rough. He'd been remarried to my stepmom, let's call her Karen, for about 8 years. They didn't have any kids together, and she wasn't exactly warm to me growing up, but we were civil. My dad left me a decent chunk of change in his will, enough for a down payment on a house and then some. He explicitly stated that the money was for me, his only biological child, to get a good start in life. Karen got the house and a comfortable amount of savings, so it's not like she was left out. Fast forward to this year, I mentioned to Karen that I was looking to buy a house, and she immediately started trying to guilt trip me about family responsibilities. Apparently, she's been having trouble with bills, and she asked me for a loan from the inheritance to help keep the house running. I said no. I told her that my dad made it clear that money was for me. She lost it, told me I was being greedy, that family comes first, and that my dad would be disappointed in me. No, he would be pissed that she's even asking. Now my relatives are split. Some say I'm right to stand my ground, others say I should help out because she was part of my dad's life. Reddit, am I the jerk? No, OP, you are 100% right. Karen is being the jerk here. Knowing that it was explicitly stated, not only that the money was for you, but exactly what he intended you to use that money for. And then still, she got the house and she got savings. After she lost him, if he was the primary breadwinner, she should have took a hard look at the finances and see, can I continue living in this house? Can I afford to? And if not, right at the beginning or pretty soon thereafter, would have been a great time to sell the house, downsize if she had to, so she could both own her home outright and live somewhere that she could afford independently. Especially knowing that she wasn't warm. She wasn't even warm to you. You guys just coexisted for the sake of your dad. You don't have a family responsibility to her. You're 26, you're a grown adult. No. I mean, family comes first. Okay, I can get on board with that, but only if it's family that treated you well. If it's family that you feel like should come first. But if she wasn't very good to you, you don't owe it to her. She shouldn't come first if she didn't put you first. And right now, she's definitely not putting you first by trying to take part of your money when you said, I'm looking to buy a house right now. And the money that you have is for that down payment. She's like, well, just loan me some so I can keep this house running. That house is not your responsibility. You're an adult. You're trying to have your own household. It sounds like she was left in a good enough position that she shouldn't be here now. And it is not your job as a stepchild to fix her mess. So OP, you are right. And there's a yellow gold box comment first thing that just says, don't give her a cent. She's being ridiculous. And that's the short answer. She's being wild to even ask. And if you did loan to her, I don't think you would ever see a cent back. So keep what's yours, respect your dad's wishes, and good luck finding your dream house. Story number 5 is coming to us from r/AIO. Am I overreacting? Mother-in-law won't let my daughter take gifts home. Hi all, my daughter is 6 months old, and she is my in-laws' only grandchild. With this past Sunday being Easter, my in-laws got my daughter a huge Easter basket full of toys, books, and a couple of other things. We went to my in-laws for Easter brunch. As my mother-in-law was showing my daughter all the things in her basket, I made the comment, wow, look at all those fun toys and books for you. My mother-in-law immediately said, they're all staying here. Sure enough, as we were packing up to leave, mother-in-law took all the toys and books out of the basket, and all that my daughter got to take home was 2 packs of onesies and a pack of yogurt melts. This is not the first time this has happened. For Christmas, my daughter only got to keep half the gifts the in-laws got her. Mother-in-law packed up half of her gifts and took them back to their house. I understand my daughter is little right now and doesn't know any different, but I suspect this will be an issue as she gets older if this pattern continues. Also, my daughter goes to my in-laws for a couple of hours about every other week, so she spends some time there, but not a ton. I only work part-time, and my mom/mother-in-law watches her at our house, so she spends majority of her time at our house. I am grateful for the gifts my in-laws got for her, but am I overreacting for being upset that my daughter doesn't get to keep any of her toys for home? I mean, your feelings are your feelings, so I don't think you're upset. I don't think you're overreacting for being upset about that. I'm gonna call this situation a mess because I feel like there's some underlying things here that we don't know about yet. If she spent a lot of time at in-laws' house, it would completely make sense to me for them to keep their gifts there just so she automatically has toys and books and things there. That would make sense. But since she only spends a couple of hours every other week or so there, that's weird because those toys, like, she'll barely get to play with those toys before she outgrows them. So that is strange to me. I've seen a lot where, like, if there's a separate household situation with, like, mom has one house, dad has another, they're split up, where, like, they won't be allowed to leave clothes at dad's house when they go, or they won't be allowed to take their Christmas presents from dad's home to mom. And I mean, in some situations, like, depending on the circumstances, I get that. Especially then, if you get the presents there, you leave them there, you're guaranteed to have those things there. Like, you don't have to worry about bringing stuff back and forth. But for this situation, it's weird because she's not there that much. And I want to know what mother-in-law's deal is. Why she feels like the things that she got for her shouldn't go back to her home. I have questions. But there's no answers. There's no update. So, I mean, you didn't act on your angry feelings, so you're not wrong. But we're going to call it a mess because I need more details on why mother-in-law is behaving the way she is. Yeah. All right, we are going to have one more story for today. Story number 6 is coming to us from r/Am I the Angel? Am I the asshole for staying in the delivery room with my stepdaughter even though she didn't want me in there? Immediate reaction, yes. Yes, you're the asshole. That's such a personal, private situation. I can't imagine why you would stay if you knew you weren't wanted. That awkwardness. So let's find out what happened here. I think there's a typo at the beginning of the story because it says 60 male and 55 male, but it says wife, and further through refers to the wife as her. So I think that was just a typo. I'm 60 male, and I'm married to my beautiful wife, Mary Kate, 55 female. We have been married for 15 years. My wife has a daughter and 2 sons from a previous relationship. Her daughter, Casey, 28 female, went into labor last week on the 10th and gave birth to a beautiful baby boy. When we were at the hospital, Casey made it very clear before the birth and days before the 10th, she only wanted her husband in the room and everyone else could wait outside and come in to see the baby after the birth. I talked to Casey in private about it and discussed my views that it should be the women's parents in the room and the husband could be outside. She had got an attitude with me and refuted back, saying it was her decision and that she didn't have time to deal with the stress of this and to please just respect her wishes. I told her fine and that I was sorry to just avoid any arguments. When we were at the hospital and waiting outside in this area, I had told the family I was going to use the bathroom and left when in reality I went to the room to see Casey. When I came in, she was pushing and at first didn't see me because her eyes were closed, and her husband gave me a look and mouthed, "What the F?" When I went to the other side to hold her other hand and wipe her forehead, her eyes opened, and she was furious and began squeezing my hand hard while she was pushing. Fast forward to when the baby is out, she starts screaming at me and telling the nurses to kick me out and to not let me back in, which is what they did. It was the same time the rest of the family was coming in the room and I had to explain to my wife what happened, and she was annoyed. Ever since the 10th, Casey has been more distant towards me and hasn't talked to me as much when she calls her mother. I feel bad, but I was just being supportive. Am I the asshole for just wanting to be in the room with her? Edit. Edit 1 on April 19th, 2025. I believe I have to make this edit so people understand. I am the baby's grandpa, meaning I am allowed to be there during the birth. I did not cause any trouble either by being in the room. I held her hand and rubbed her face as the baby was coming out of her. That edit means nothing. You are the asshole. You are so wrong. Where was it? Where is the part that got me? I feel bad, but I was just being supportive. You are not being supportive. If you wanted to support her, you would have respected her wishes so she could have had a comfortable as possible, birth. So she could have had the experience that she wanted. She point blank said, I do not want you in there. I only want my husband in the room. The person that made this baby with me is the one who will be in the room. And what did you say? Oh my gosh. You said that it should be the women's parents in the room and the husband should be outside. What is wrong with you and what century are you still living in? Because I cannot imagine a world. Okay, there was a world a long time ago, I think before modern medicine, when, yes, like the mom would be in the room or other women would be in the room while she was giving birth to help her and the dad would be outside. But all the men were outside. The dads were never in there with the women. I wish the moment the husband saw you, he would have told the nurses to get you out. Like, you should not have been allowed to stay. You should never have held her hand or wiped her forehead. That's not what she wanted. You are not being supportive. You disrespected her when she was at her most vulnerable moment. And I cannot blame her for being more distant. I'm surprised she still speaks to you at all after you pulled that stunt. And I'm surprised that your wife, who also probably knew your daughter's wishes, or her daughter's wishes, right? It's her, right? You're the stepdad? Yeah, it's her daughter. Yeah. She probably also knew her daughter's wishes and she was willing to respect her daughter's wishes. And for some reason, you thought you were more important than everybody else to just get up and go do whatever you wanted? No. No. I am honestly disappointed with your wife that she was just annoyed, but I also don't know if she was really just annoyed or if you just can't read the room. And I mean, so you posted this 7 days ago and then you had the update. What would that date have been? The 19th. 1, 2. Okay, so you did your update the day after you initially posted it. That your edit doesn't help people understand. We already knew that you were the grandpa, that you're the baby's grandpa by means of being the mom's mother's husband. You're the new mom's stepdad. You're the baby's grandpa. We knew that. You're not allowed to be there if she said you're not. Like, you took a liberty that wasn't yours to take. You should be ashamed of yourself. And you should be apologizing profusely, not only to your daughter, your stepdaughter, and her husband, but also to your wife. Because what made you think that you deserved the privilege of watching this baby come into the world, but not your wife? This is all messed up. My flabbers are gasted. I don't understand what is going through your head to still feel like you should be defending yourself as though you're right. Because you're not. You're very obviously not. Ugh. And I mean, you say, I did not cause any trouble by being in the room. You didn't cause a scene, you didn't cause trouble, but you distressed a woman who was trying to push a baby out of her. That's trouble. You did make trouble. Ugh. That, nope. Nope, I'm not here for that. Oh, so wrong. Okay, that is 6 stories for today for episode 16 of Was I in the Wrong? I'm losing track of my numbers. That's us done for the day. So if you are listening on podcast and you like it, please leave a 5-star review to help the channel grow. Share it with a friend if you like it. If you are watching on YouTube, leave a comment with your takes on stories down below, especially that last story. Let me know what you think. Like the video, subscribe for more, and share it with a friend to help the channel grow. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.